Hello, trading is closed on May the 12th, 2020. We'll go over our calls. Look for the pattern with the early high. There it is. And tomorrow has the early low. Didn't make a specific call because yesterday's action confused me. We had a gap down, and according to the way I do things, it should have been followed by a tank. Instead, we rallied to a new high here, new recovery high. Didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time, and rather than guess, I decided not to make a call. It's obvious now, it wasn't to me then, that this was just a false move, a whipsaw. And the tank I was looking for yesterday actually came today. I guess better late than never, but I guess close doesn't really count. Early on, MEJT gave an ultimate signal to buy. That worked. So the rally was false, the drop was false, this rally was false. They've all retraced. We got a strong sell signal in the afternoon. The target printed immediately, but when you get three long bars, each one closing near its low, as long as you don't overtake the high of the bar, the potential, not the obligation, but the potential is there for a very strong move in the same direction. And that's what we got. We did have some long-standing calls. We thought this high from 2 weeks ago would hold. That really cut things pretty close. And I guess it could still be invalidated, but so far it's working. We wanted some resistance at the 61.8. We hit it a number of times. Actually traded a little bit over it, so the potential of failure was there, but give or take a little, it eventually worked. We wanted to drop below this line, at least as far as we were over it. This is their move over the line, and that should move under the line. So we've met the target. The pattern doesn't really require us to go lower. It's a target. It isn't a stop and reverse. And until you take out this low, you can't be 100% positive. But I think this is the start of the next wave down. This is the count I'm using. We had this A. You get good fibs at the B. The C equals A of the red. It's close. It isn't exact. The others are pretty good. And this certainly looks like we're in an impulsive decline. This is an impulse, and that's overlapping corrective. Usually it'll stop just short, and this might be a 1 and this might be a 2. In fact, it probably is. We should actually have to change this. Okay, so I changed them to a 1 and a 2. Wave 2 often corrects almost all of wave 1. So I have this in the third wave down, and if it is a third wave down, trying to nitpick how high a recovery, if any, I think is missing the forest for the trees. So Wednesday's pattern has a early low, doesn't mean you won't gap up. Normally, that pattern's a rally day with a final hour high, but if it's negative, it's usually because of early weakness. We appear to be in the third wave down of some degree. The wall into the close often is followed by a gap up. But regardless of whether or not that happens, I think recent highs are going to hold. Pattern with the early low. But I think we're in an impulsive wave down, which isn't over. And that's today's call.